Fuel Sports Network.
It's a trap!
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
This is the Team of Rivals podcast.
Everything you want to hear from the big sports to the big screen.
He's all by himself, fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No!
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Time winding down. Michael for three. Yes! She is gone!
I can't believe what I just saw.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Number 5 and ready.
What?
Oh, I'm in a bad mood. Really in a bad mood. Good morning, Cubs and Cardinals fans. Welcome to the Team of Rivals podcast. It's Saturday, January 18th. You can follow us on social media, Team of Rivals Pod. For those of you who prefer to watch the show, like right now, we also live stream on X, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. So hit the like and subscribe button. So be sure notifications are on so that you know anytime we post new content. You can find more great podcast and blog content on the Fuel Sports Network. Speeding through this thing because, God, I'm pissed. Joining me for this week's show, co-founder of TOR, number 171 in the 2024 edition of C70's Top Cards on Twitter, Ron Nuttall. Permanent guest host, Elliott Dewey. Guys, I'm really in a bad mood. I was on an up note when I texted you guys and said, are we doing a show? Because I was actually looking forward to talking about somebody who I totally forgot about it until I was listening to it there. Somebody who was featured in our intro. Talking about Bob Uecker and the impact somebody had on the game who had a very interesting connection to the game. And then Roki Sasaki signed with the Dodgers. And then my idiot fellow Cubs fans pretended like the PED era never meant anything. Welcome Sammy Sosa back like a conquering hero. And the Cubs did such a good job of it that after they announced that Derek Lee was also being inducted into the Cubs Hall of Fame, they actually let him walk off stage because Sammy was doing his stupid fucking look at me shtick that he did for years, and that the stupid SEALs at Cubs convention couldn't stop applauding for, like walrus being thrown fish. And then, as I'm setting up the stream this morning, I find this. Elliott already knows this is coming. Ron doesn't. This is the top hit on YouTube when you type in Team of Rivals podcast. And just for context, if we go into the more section here.
Yeah.
They joined October 6th of 2024.
Oh. Who is, yeah, I'll check that out. That's interesting. I mean, it just takes a little Google search if you're going to do a podcast or a streaming show.
Right.
I mean, a quick Google search will tell you, hey, like we don't have it trademarked, registered. So I mean,
we've been using it for so long, we kind of do.
Yeah.
So what do? Do we contact a good copyright attorney? Do we use YouTube to pressure them and say, hey, YouTube, they're stealing our mark?
Let me go back to this though, Pete. Look at this. Like there may be a legal avenue there. That's fine. We can pursue it. I'm all for it. I'm just talking about the laziness.
I know.
Of like, I've done many podcasts and many shows at this point, right? Do At the Park. I've done, I saw the screenshot you had up there earlier. I thought, oh my God, don't play that one. When we had, others on there that I used to podcast with that I don't really care to fucking talk to anymore. Done shows for them. Two Birds on a Bat, Ruffled Feathers, you name it. Like, it takes a quick internet search to make sure, if anything, that your work is not going to redirect to somebody else or get confused with somebody else's work. So legalities aside, it's just fucking lazy.
Right.
Yeah. We've probably done, I don't know how many hundreds of shows we've done.
We have 273 videos on YouTube. They have 9.
Well, we recorded for at least almost 2 seasons before we started YouTubing.
Correct. But that being the point, right? Even if you just look at our presence on YouTube, we have 273 videos. They have 9. We have been on YouTube since December 1st of 2016.
Yeah.
So we predate them by 8 years. Wouldn't have taken long.
Yeah.
To find us.
That's and I hate this.
Or do we invite them on the show? Maybe that's the response.
Actually, that might be the best thing. Are they a football thing? I really,
yeah.
Okay, so invite them to be guests on the Team of Rivals podcast.
Because we can frame it as, hey, listen, because it's the baseball offseason, we've kind of been pivoting to the NFL, and we would love to see you guys on there so that we can talk a little NFL, because obviously we're all Bears fans, and so we're interested in the
caps
search
on our show, Team of Rivals podcast. Do it, Pete. You can be a better dick than me. Do it.
Thank you. And in case you're unsure about my ability to be a better dick than Ron, all you need to do is check out how I got under his skin last night.
Oh God, you hit me at the wrong time. Eat shit for that. Because I remember those conversations. Yeah, that's what else? What other aggravating things can happen this week? I'll tell you about one of them offline. I'm not going to get into it here, but the other thing is my camera is not working, so it's going to the laptop camera. So everybody, sorry, I criticize others that stream for having cameras that fucking point up their nose, and there's nothing I can do about it this morning. It's not using the right camera. I can't do anything. Can't do anything about it. Elliott is on mute, or we can't hear him for some reason.
So you want to hear another aggravating thing? Mark Gooden tweeted last night. He goes, Dodgers AAA affiliate Japan has a third base slugger, Munetaki Murakami, expected to make the jump to the major leagues next year. And I'm just like, oh my God.
There's a lot of validity to that. I mean, if you want to just call the entire Japanese professional league,
I almost want to name them LA/Tokyo Dodgers. Or if you really want to get technical, the R.A. Rogers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're no longer the Doyers, are they? They're like the Royers.
It's almost unfair at this point.
We're gonna lose our mark just because of what we're saying right now. It's going to be awarded to the other Team of Rivals.
It's just annoying, and I hate it.
It is annoying. It is annoying, guys. I cannot tell you how and I know it's sounding we sound like emotional fans that just didn't get their way, and I don't think either of us, any of us on this call, are pissed because our team didn't get the guy. That's not why we're like unhappy about this. Why we're unhappy about this is because I don't remember the game ever being this unbalanced and lopsided in favor of any team. And I'm talking about the Yankees of the late 90s,
20s, 30s, 40s.
I just don't remember a time where you truly walk into a season knowing there's only 3 teams that have a chance. And that's it. It's like college football. It's like college football, which is why I don't watch it and I'm not interested in it, is because there's who's going to be there at the end of the year, and baseball's just walked right into it happily. You got fucking John Morosi giggling and smiling like a little schoolgirl last night, reporting this Sasaki deal. Like, you are celebrating the death of this sport, and I know it sounds like hyperbole, but how many people are uninterested? We're all wearing fucking Padres hats today. So
yeah, I was thinking of rebranding us this week as the Friars Cast, but there's probably one on YouTube. So
all you have to do is Google search it, you lazy fucks, and that's all you have to do. But guys, seriously, this is. I know it sounds like an emotionally charged, nonsensical, just coming at it from pure emotion, no logic at all. I've been sitting back for 4 years, unhappy with the state of the game. I'm at an all-time low, to the point where maybe they can just keep this mark, because I don't think I can continue talking about baseball before. I certainly don't want to continue talking about baseball just being in an unhappy place all the time. But I am as uninterested as you can possibly imagine in watching this sport and reading up on anything about my team whatsoever. So not only is baseball doing this kind of bullshit, my team is just opting out of being interesting voluntarily. So good luck with all those investments you had around the park. You know what drives the money into all those investments around the park? Putting a good product on the field. And when you refuse to do that, good luck with the rest of the shit you got going on there. And then there's this. Yeah, we're all wearing Padres hats. The only reason I may tune into a game or may even stop on an article or read anything is because the Padres swept the fucking Dodgers in a regular season series. That might be the only thing I'm interested in. Guys, I don't know how you feel about this, but this is a terrible thing for this sport, what they've been doing. And if you're a Dodgers fan, you're like, well, you're sour grapes, dude. I don't think that's it. I don't think you understand. If the Dodgers are better than my team, I can live with that. But what they're doing here, taking all the interest out of 29 other markets, like just removing it.
Yeah.
That's the rub for me. So fuck you, LA. Like, deeply and honestly, go fuck yourselves. Fuck baseball. And fuck Morosi and every other guy who wanted to get the story out there first and is giggling and smiling about it. Fuck Major League Baseball Network, because they're going to stroke the Dodgers even harder this year. And we're going to have to fucking watch it. So apologies to every baseball fan, everybody out there who has loved this sport and lived with it and grew up on it. It is not the same. It's fucking dead. It is fucking dead.
Yeah, I think the thing for me that bugs me the most about the whole Roki Sasaki thing is the way that Major League Baseball and their media partners all pretended like this was legit and above board. Like this was not gonna happen this way. And judging on the reactions that you saw online, nobody is buying it.
No.
Nobody. And like, at what point do the Toronto Blue Jays just get sick of being used like this? This is what, the third time now that they finished second to the Dodgers, supposedly finished second to the Dodgers in a free agent pursuit.
Yep. That's all correct, man. It is just like, even if you're a Dodgers member of their brass, you got to be looking at this going like, is what we're doing good for this sport?
They don't care.
They don't care. It's all about money.
They don't. But I mean, seriously, like, fine. But if it's all about money, great. If you're hurting the game and hurting and killing the interest in the sport for the rest of the country, like, if it's all about money, then you should be aware of that. You should have some conscious feeling about, what am I doing for the sport? If you're intelligent, right? I mean, if it's about money, which you're not wrong, but if it's about money and you're hurting your own product long term, is that smart? That's what's happening, guys. Like, we can debate it all day long. We can bring other people on here and talk about the long term impact on this, but I don't know how anybody could think that it's not going to have an impact negatively for the rest of the country, not fucking LA market. Sorry, your shit's burning down. You're also burning your sport down. So maybe it's fitting that the Dodgers are burning their fucking sport down, because they're in LA. And everything else is going up with it. Fuck you guys. I wish fucking Fire would have only caved in whatever that shit stadium is. Chavez Ravine. Fuck you guys.
I can't really add anything to it. That's I mean, I'm not as mad, but because maybe I prepared myself knowing that he was more than likely going to go to LA, which is infuriating because just the way everything has gone the last couple years with the signing of Shohei and the deferment, and like that's what they're doing. I mean, are the Dodgers gonna be able to sign anybody? And like, I mean, it's gonna suck and we're gonna have to wait 10 years, but are they gonna have any money at all to spend? I mean, they're gonna have like a $500 million, yearly payout and nobody on their damn team. And it's going to be like the quadruple A Dodgers at that point. Wouldn't you think?
You wonder, and Dakota Mekas mentioned this on last week's episode of the Compound. He said, at what point do all the other general managers in baseball say, we're not going to trade with you? Great.
True.
You need a middle reliever at the deadline? Fuck off. There's nothing you can offer me.
$100 million, and then I'll trade them.
Yeah.
I would absolutely
your
love
top
that.
5 prospects.
I would absolutely love that. You know what I would love? And this will never
It won't happen though.
But if I could, wave whatever magic wand that I wanted, every Dodgers road trip, just nobody fucking shows up.
Yeah, that's not going to.
That would be awesome. I mean, there'll be Dodgers fans that show up and they can eat shit. All of them. I would love it. I would love it, Pete, if I could just magically send the signal out. Boop, 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 and no fans show up at the fucking park. No Cubs fans go to Wrigley Field. No Phillies fans go to their park and watch the Dodgers. It's just fucking 1/3 full of stupid ass Dodgers fans.
You know whose fault it is that the Dodgers were able to sign Sasaki? It's the Phillies' fault. Because they made a trade with them to give them international pool money. That's how they were able to afford him.
Nah.
They would have figured it out anyway, Elliott. They would have taken the rules.
He would have taken whatever they offered.
Yeah.
He's getting league minimum.
Right.
So it's a rookie fucking contract, which is even more infuriating.
It is. And Shohei's making $2 million. That's hitting the books this year.
Correct. For the next 10 years.
Yeah. And they've got a couple other MVPs on the team. They got like 3 of them playing now, right? Like Shohei, they got Freeman, Betts.
I mean, their rotation is 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah, but let's hang on before you get too excited.
Are you the one trying to be rational right now?
I am, and here's why. Because I'm old. I remembered something that I need to find it. If you recall, in the 90s, when the Braves had gotten Greg Maddux.
Okay.
And I'm going to find the
Glavine, Smoltz.
Yep. Glavine, Smoltz, Maddux, Merker. And it was the cover was of all of them.
Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones.
And the God, I can find the picture, but I can't find the cover.
Deion Sanders.
No. But what mattered was the picture. Shoot. Well, I can't find the cover, but I can't find the cover, but I can find the image, and I'm gonna share it with you guys right now. So here we go. This is fascinating, obviously. I should have taken this off presentation mode a long time ago, but here you go. This was on the cover of Sports Illustrated in the 90s. And the caption was best rotation ever. So Steve Avery, John Smoltz, Kent Merker, Greg Maddux, and Tom Glavine. And they never performed. They were such the best rotation ever that they won one World Series.
Yeah.
So as people are talking about the Dodgers having the best rotation ever, I'm going to at least fall back a little bit on the hope that it proves as prophetic as that 1993 Sports Illustrated cover proved. I'll probably be sorely disappointed, but
Duke said,
bringing it back around because I'm still a little ticked off, gentlemen.
Hold on, Pete, because I want to read Duke's comment here. Those Braves were really good and easy to hate. I don't remember. The only part I disagree. I didn't
hate them.
There's really nothing to hate about the Braves. Like most of.
They kept winning the NL.
They brought Maddox in.
Yeah,
I'll give them that was
they won like 10 in a row.
Everything else was homegrown though. I mean, just about. I mean, they brought in Fred McGriff, and there was a couple pieces that they brought in that weren't homegrown. But I mean, David Justice. I guess they did trade for Marquise Grissom, but
let's also remember though, they brought in Maddox after the Cubs failed to offer him a contract that would keep him because he wanted to stay.
Bet you thank the Tribune for that all the time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of the most infuriating baseball players to get. Yes. Oh my God. And then they, try to make it better by bringing him in his last 5 years of his career where he was just partially Greg Maddux.
Yeah. There was a post today, and I'm not like a huge fan of this site or anything, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Pete, if you're able to pull it up, put it up on screen. It's Super 70 Sports. They had a picture of Greg Maddux in like an ugly Christmas sweater. The Greg Maddux of now, who if you saw him on the street, you'd be like, there's no way this guy won 355 games.
Right.
But he did. And so for all you stat nerds out there that are jizzing all over yourself about a guy's spin rate and velocity, take a look at this picture from that dude, and you tell me 355 games. I don't know if you're ever located.
I saw a really good story recently about Greg Maddux when he was a rookie and he was brought up to pitch, and Andre Dawson got hit in the face with
that
baseball.
Ooh, yeah.
And then they went back to the dugout, and I can't remember. I think it was another pitcher.
Sutcliffe
told him, "Hey, don't go out there and hit anyone."
Well, you got to put it in context. You got to put it in context. Before the game, the Cubs told him, "Greg, you got to win today, or we're sending you down to AAA."
Right. And so Sutcliffe came in and said, "Get the 3 outs, and then maybe retaliate the next inning." Yeah. And he goes, "Nope, can't do it."
And they were up 4-2 as well. So he had the lead. He would have gotten the win.
And Sutcliffe just said, "Hey, you need the win, or they're going to send you back down." Maddox went out there, next player up, hit him.
Santiago.
Good.
And then Greg got sent down for the minimum 15 days, and then he was back up, and he never went back down to the minors.
What an arm, right? Get thrown out. Well,
yeah, he probably threw like an 88-mile-per-hour fastball.
I know, right? It probably didn't hurt him at all. But
not exactly what you were looking for, Ron. But
yeah.
I mean, 1997, Greg Maddux tossed a 76-pitch complete game. This is now known as 4 innings to most current starting pitchers. And look at that. Look at that physique. Woo.
This
like is Kyle Hendricks right there.
That's right.
And a lot of people say, "Hey, we're showing our age right now. Like we don't want to, want the game as it was. We don't like the new version, and older generations don't like newer versions of anything. So we're kind of like we're falling into that a little bit, but I think we're on the right side of it this time. I really do. I just think this game is it's gone off the rails. It's too mechanical now. It's too scientific. There's no mystery. There's no stories. Like, what's baseball's story at this point, other than stupid asses like me being enraged about what the Dodgers are doing? Like, what's baseball's story? What's the mystery around it? What's the drama? And none of it's there, and it's depressing, guys, because we're all in a place where, like Pete baseball is to me what Disney is to Pete, and I'm willing to ignore it, and I'm not going to lose much by doing that. And so,
Ron, I'm almost there.
This goes down to all levels of baseball, guys. It's not being it's being taught in a way that it's just you just feel like this is all wrong. How baseball is being played, how it's being taught, it's just wrong. I see some of the drills these kids do. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, we went out and we were hit ground balls. We weren't running around cones and using PVC pipes to hone our hips when we swing. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Kids just don't go out and play anymore, and that's how we learned how to do it.
All right, so couple quick updates, circling back around, trying to get us at least a little bit happier. Not that I disagree with you, Ron.
Okay.
But one, actually, we're going to go on a little sharing spree. This is our biggest screen share episode ever.
Okay.
Everybody produces better content than us, apparently. So you can no longer directly contact creators on YouTube. However, what we could do, if you can see this, we could report the user. And we can report their channel art. I have no problem with their channel art. We could report their profile picture. I'm okay with that. Report user. Let's see. What are the issues? Oh, wait, impersonation.
No.
And if you hover over it, impersonating another user by copying their channel layout, using a similar username, or posting as them in comments, emails, or videos. I mean, guys, they're clearly using a similar username.
Yes. We will handle this. A Team of Rivals NFL podcast. Well, at least they tried something.
Right.
But you guys better hope we don't start talking exclusively about football. We will bury you.
That's right. That's right. Okay. And then item number 2 on the sharing list, just because Elliott did a fine job relaying the story, but I think it's better if it's told from the horse's mouths. So here we go.
Oh, you got it.
In an official game, Maddox retaliated in the 4th inning when he hit Benito Santiago. That's the guy who called that pitch that hit Dawson. Maddox and Gene Michael were kicked out of there.
Greg Maddox was pitching that day, and he'd been told before the game that if he doesn't win, he's going back to the minor leagues.
I remember Eric Shaw was pitching and hit Andre right in the face.
Whoa! Whoa! Hit by a pitch ball. Oh, boy, look at Dawson.
You know, he got knocked out too.
Was our main guy. I remember him laying right there on home plate, kind of knocked out, and then he came to and, spit a bunch of blood on the plate, and then he started looking for Eric Shaw.
He's on his feet. Now he's looking for Shaw. It
was a pretty good brawl.
There's such a hitting Shaw. They're trying to keep him away. Look at this. Andre's going
after running him into the dugout.
After him.
What'll be interesting, Harry, is when Greg Maddox goes out, what he will do.
They can kick him out of the ball game now.
And it's a dilemma because it's a 4-2 game. He has not qualified for the win.
And I said, hey, here's what you're doing. You're going to go get 3 outs. You're going to get the win. And in the 6th inning, you do whatever you want. And he looked at me and he went, no. He goes, I'm hitting the first guy. I said, if you don't go get 3 outs, they're going to send you to the minor leagues. And with tears in his eyes, he said, I don't care if I ever get another win. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. I can still see his face.
Santiago's hit by a pitch. And he is ejected. Here we go again.
He hit him. He got sent down to the minors, and I think he had the minimum 15 days or whatever it was. He was back in the big leagues, and he never saw that minor league bus again after that.
I certainly would have lost a ton of respect if I didn't hit anybody. That was way more valuable than any win I could have ever gotten.
That is respect level went up like 10 notches for that dude. And I already had a ton of respect for Greg Maddox and his entire career. But that
would never be tolerated in Major League Baseball now.
Nope.
Yeah, we lost you.
Lost the sound.
Of course. This is perfect. Yeah. Right when Ron was about to make it yet another brilliant point. I mean, look, this is the Ron show this week. Ron has been 100% on point.
Mic.
Oh, now he's muted. Nope, you're muted. Software mute. Software mute. Little red button. Nope. Still muted. Nope. There we go. You're good. Talk, Ron. He's done.
He's gonna I think he's got the nope, that's the same camera.
Nope. Still muted, buddy. Software mute again.
That is a fun little story. So.
Yeah, it is. And I was going to bring this up. I don't know if Ron can actually speak. I assume he can hear us because I can see that he's moving. But I don't know how good this is going to be, how good this is going to be to bring this up if we can't hear Ron's reaction.
Pete, can you say yes or no? Can you hear me?
There, yes. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So, Ron, you actually mentioned before, as I was prepping some stuff, you mentioned all the money that specifically the Cardinals had spent on like Ballpark Village and everything, and that nobody is coming. They can throw all their money into that. And I stumbled across something interesting before I went to bed last night about how the Cardinals winter warm-up is this weekend, same weekend as Cubs convention. I don't know how often that actually happens. It seems to me that they always seem to be off by like a week or two. But anyway, they're both happening this weekend. And I don't know that you could have more of a contrast between the two because CubsCon notoriously costs a lot of money. And this year, apparently, it may be the biggest one that they've ever done as far as attendees.
Oh, it's all the SEALs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, they're actually opening up the panels to fans for free. The attendance is down so much that if you want to go yell at John Mozeliak or Bill DeWitt, you can just show up at Ballpark Village. It's not going to cost you a dime, which I think is a pretty good indicator. And, kind of makes me respect Cardinals fans a hell of a lot more than it makes me respect Cubs fans, because Cardinals fans are like, F you.
Yeah.
You're not going to put a product on the field. We're not going to give you money in the offseason. Whereas Cubs fans are like, oh, Sammy Sosa.
Oh. I'm saving that sound clip.
Go right ahead.
37 minutes. All right. No, Pete, you're 100% right. And I'm pretty down on most social media Cardinals fans for sure. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And they've shown it in attendance, like who shows up, and they're showing it in this offseason. I can't imagine interest being any lower than it is right now in going to a winter warm-up for the Cardinals to go watch Miles Michaelis talk. Like, I'm not packing my shit up on a weekend and driving 2.5 hours to go anywhere near a winter warm-up for the Cardinals this year if I'm still living in the Midwest. There's no way in hell I'm doing it. And so they should open the doors up for free, and there's still going to be fewer people there than they were like 3 or 4 years ago. That's what they've done.
Have they even said rebuild at all?
No, they won't, Elliott, because they've backed it. They cornered themselves years ago and said that we're not ever going to do that. We're going to be competitive. We're not ever going to do a rebuild. We're not ever going to do a tank. We're not doing that. So they put themselves in the corner, and now they have to.
Seems like a soft tank right now.
They're never going to publicly state it. I don't. The interest couldn't be lower. That's the only point I can make, guys. And I think it's been proven. Like, it's been proven. What you saw, how many red seats did you see last year that we've never seen before?
A lot.
I mean, a ton, right? I went to one game last year. I usually take my son one time every year. Probably won't do it this year. I don't think he's interested. Yeah, you've killed the interest of a 19-year-old kid. So it is unbelievable.
Super interested in sports, in broadcasting, and has always been into Cardinals baseball the most out of any other sport.
Yeah.
And
his interest is
that's
all-time
crazy.
Low. Yeah. So they've done it to themselves, guys. You guys revel in it, laugh at it. You deserve to. And Cardinals fans deserve to be pissed at their team. Pissed. Wait, no, not even pissed anymore. We just don't fucking care. Like, don't watch them. They are the Battlehawks to me at this point.
That's worse.
That's worse. That's way worse.
It's way worse to not care than to be angry at your team.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. That's 100. Apathy is where you don't want to be as an entertainment business.
And that's where the Cardinals are right now. And unfortunately, this is where the Cubs are.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I'm gonna sit down. Oh no, wait, more. I want to hear more. More. Love me more. Cubs fans, you are such sheep.
That combined with the seal noise is going to be, that's going to, it has to go in our new intro. I'm redoing our intro.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Pete, I feel you, man. Yep.
I mean, they've done the same thing, and not that my son was nearly as much of a fan as Braden, but he's enjoyed going to baseball games. And I was thinking about it as I was going to bed last night. We see far more minor league games between the Chicago Dogs and the King County Cougars than we do major league games each season. One, it's cheaper. Two, you're actually seeing guys who are playing because they love the game, right? I mean, who plays minor league baseball, independent minor league baseball into their 30s? You know you're not going to get a shot. You're doing it because you love the game.
And you're not making shit on it either. You're not making a living on it.
No, not at all.
You're 100% right. Like, I have actually enjoyed going to Charlotte Knights games, AAA, but still going to Charlotte Knights games last year. A lot more fun than going to Busch Stadium.
Yep.
So suck on that one, DeWitt and company. I've had more fun going to a game in Charlotte than that fucking mausoleum called Busch Stadium these days.
Duke on fire in the comments today. This is like watching three guys quit smoking. Oh man, I used to love my Marlboro Reds.
Oh, you know, if I had a pack right now, I might light one up, but those days are long gone. But yeah, this may be our worst show.
Oh no.
Maybe those other guys deserve the mark. I can't wait to see how you address that one, Pete. Like that. We'll do that one offline.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, obviously there's no way to contact them on YouTube, but I haven't even really searched on X to see if maybe
they have a presence.
Just take a screenshot of their YouTube channel and we'll just post it out on X. Like, we didn't know we had such fans.
Well, we've already posted. Actually, I should check in. I should see how it's doing because I posted the poll. Let's see. First, we'll doing all these things all at the same time. Let's go ahead. Let's bring the poll up on Facebook. And it doesn't look like we've got any responses on it right now, but that's okay. Let's see over on X. Where are we at on X on our responses here? So far it's 100% invite them on the show.
How many votes though? Like 2?
1.
2. 1.
All right.
And then on YouTube, I don't know where we're at on YouTube, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Let's pivot. Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker.
Yep.
Yeah. What? That's a bummer.
One of the best baseball storytellers. He did the best when the Brewers were either up 11-2 or down 11-2.
Yeah. There were there's not one single game when I was watching baseball more regular that they weren't playing the Brewers, and I switched the broadcast on MLB.TV. You can do that. You can switch the broadcast, right? So every single time they played the Brewers and I was watching, I'd switch over to Milwaukee's feed every single time, and just to hear him. And yeah, it's a bummer, man. He comes from a time where baseball was probably at its best as a fan. And not saying that because he was part of the Cardinals, because he didn't play very much, and he made he made that no mystery how little he actually played.
Yeah, but one of my favorite stories that came out that I just found out about that I loved is that, and look, this isn't unique. I'm sure it happened to other people, but the fact that it happened to Bob Uecker, who had how many career home runs?
I don't know.
12, 10, 12, somewhere right around there.
Let's see. Bob Uecker, career home runs, 14. Not bad, Elliott. 14 career home runs.
Yeah.
Right? Hit a home run off Sandy Koufax that was called by Vin Scully, Jack Buck, and Harry Carey.
That is awesome.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. You should post that up and tag Augie Nash. He'll
I may have found it because of Augie.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was the one who probably reposted it. But yeah, that's
literally
that right there is Bob Uecker in a nutshell.
That is fantastic. And Augie is one of the few that I have not muted, because I think what he does, the historical photos and facts that he brings up on this day are very, very entertaining and educational in most cases, because I wouldn't have known that either. But yeah, a home run called by Jack Buck, Harry Carey, and Vin Scully off Sandy Koufax. That is Bob Uecker.
Yep. And awesome. I think that was kind of his unique. I think that's what people loved about him so much, is that he's like, he was the connection to the everyman, right? He felt like an everyman in the booth calling the game. He felt like the way that we would call a game. And also that kind of thing is the kind of thing that we could identify with. Like, one of these 5 things is not like the other, and yet it still exists.
Right.
Like and I'm sure he probably did, I don't know, pull a name, Lou Brock, no, Rogers Hornsby, I don't know, but there's probably another. Guarantee you Stan Musial hit a home run off of Sandy Koufax that was called by those 4 or by those 3. But nobody would be surprised if they told you that. But Bob Uecker?
Right.
Bob Uecker? That's awesome.
There's pitchers who have more home runs than Bob Uecker.
I think I can. Oh, I don't want to play. I hate ads on YouTube. So I'm going to mute this real quick and get through the ad. But I want to play one of my favorites of Bob Uecker, and it was on the Johnny Carson show, which he was on a lot.
Yeah.
Hang on a second here.
He was like one of the people who was the guest the most on Carson. I think they said something like between like 60 or 90 times.
It was crazy how many times he was on it. But I think I haven't done this as much as you have, Pete, but I think I can share my screen.
You should be able to.
Okay. Let me know if you guys see it.
Yep, we got it.
Okay, so I'm going to play this one because it's one of my all-time favorite clips of him.
You made your throw after that. All right, this is
we're
this is obviously
that once a year they have these team.
Ron, let me grab it because we're struggling.
Baseball.
Yeah, it's
it
a robot.
Okay. Is it choppy?
Yeah.
Okay. You do it then.
Yeah, I will. And then actually what we'll do is then we're going to go to what I would imagine probably was most people's first encounter with Bob Uecker. And I think I may have been exposed to him a little earlier and didn't even realize it, obviously, because my whole family is basically from Wisconsin. And so I got exposed to him probably early on. The commercials, yeah. And we're going to get to that. Yeah, we are definitely going to get to that.
Yeah, because they played them on WGN all the time.
Yeah.
So you had that relationship between the Cubs and the Brewers, but then proximity to Wisconsin and Miller Lite always being around. Yep. So,
yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I think that this is the one that.
Yeah, it's a long video. Sometimes you have to advance it a little bit, otherwise.
Trying to share for us.
Bob Uecker played professional baseball for 14 years.
You go about halfway, Pete.
Currently working for the Milwaukee Brewers as a scout in public relations as a broadcaster. And since World Series time is when? When's the World Series?
So, very soon.
And maybe you can tell us what they're. They see the monitor up there. Obviously, it's a locker room celebration.
No, this is actually a picture of me getting ready for a game.
You don't believe in waiting too long, huh?
No, I hadn't played in a couple of days, and to get me ready while they
kind of prime me a little bit, huh?
Prime me up, right?
There we go.
Yeah. Was that actually a pennant winning team at all?
No, not after that picture was
No. you were catcher.
Yes, I was. Chaser.
Chaser. That is you.
I wasn't just playing all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, speaking of Chaser, and I know I saw it on X, and I'm sure you guys have heard it, but one of my favorite quotes from Bob Uecker was, you know how you catch a knuckleball? Wait until it stops rolling and then pick it up.
He's going to say it right now. He's going to say it right now.
That's me. That's my hidden ball trick.
What happened in that particular?
Well, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, he had his bell rung.
Yes. That chimed for quite a while, doesn't it? Yes. Yes. All right. I'm not quite sure what this is. This is a series of montage of pictures. What does this show?
Well,
I guess the first picture is where up
right.
Here? Yeah.
This, John, you remember when I talked about catching the knuckleball?
Right.
The easiest way to catch it was to wait until it stopped rolling and then just pick it up.
I see, and there it is on the ground. You're looking around for the ball there in that middle picture.
Then the umpire finally picked it up and gave it to me, and I made my throw.
You made your throw after that, huh? All right. This is obviously here. We get a shot of it.
This is
obviously a team.
This is a team picture that once a year they have these team picture days is what they are. And on this particular day, this cost Bob Gibson, one of the great pitchers in baseball. It cost him and I $200. They had taken the picture and they had proofed it and everything, and then brought it back to the ballpark before they finally caught that scene there.
What? Can you come a little closer on that?
Well, Bob and I are holding hands.
We're gonna get a close shot of that. You certainly are, aren't you? Guess who's coming to pitch? That's a funny put on. And they went out before they really took a close look.
Yeah, they brought it back ready to give them out before they finally.
You two clowns are sitting there smiling like two. That's great. Now this picture must be obviously an exciting moment.
Yes, this is on a day when the starting lineups were put on the board and the ball club found out that I wasn't playing.
Celebrating early there.
Everybody was very happy.
I convinced they were. This is you, isn't it, Robert? In this last picture, I can't even guess what you're doing here.
Well, this was taken during the 1964 World Series. They had 4 bands on the field, and one of them took a break, so I grabbed this guy's tuba, and I was catching fly balls in that tuba in the outfield. That cost me $260 too. Well, all the dents that were put in the.
They find ball players for almost everything, huh?
Yes, they do.
Kind of behavior. Did you read Boughton's book at all, Ball Form?
No, I didn't. I heard a lot about it.
Where he kind of copped out and told tales out of school, as it.
There you go. That's a favorite clip. I watched that a few times this week. What a guy, right?
Yeah.
Less in the world, you know?
Yeah, of course. One of the last few storytellers for sure in the.
Yep. Yeah. Him and Vin Scully.
World. Yep.
I'd put Pat Hughes up there with him too. Not as funny, but certainly knows how to paint a picture and tell you a story.
Absolutely. And I would think that at least for guys our age, that this was was how most people our age were introduced to Bob Uecker.
You know, one of the best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh,
I must be in the front row. Come on. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer.
Good seats, hey, buddy. He missed the tag. He missed the tag.
Yep, I remember those. I think you're right, Pete.
Yeah.
That's probably some of the first at our age, some of the first introductions we had to euchre, and then of course Major League. Right, that was the that was when that's when he, for our generation, that's when he became a household name.
Yep, absolutely.
Not to mention my favorite card game is euchre, but it's spelled different.
Yes, it is.
True.
I didn't know that you were a fan. Are we going to have to?
We played last night. Yeah, the kids know how to play. My 11-year-old's
Nice.
a card counter. I don't know how he does it, but I know it's illegal, but he's a card counter. It's amazing. He knows what hand you got dealt like 4 hands ago. So
That's ridiculous.
partnered up with him, but we got taken down by Grandma and the 13-year-old.
Nice.
Ouch.
10-9. We came back. We were down 6-0. Got dealt some
Ooh.
shitty hands. Came back and tied it. Lost in the last hand.
Of course you did. You spent all that. You expended all that effort just catching up.
Right? Heartbreaking.
It is.
Did you get some loaners to get caught back up?
No. We got a couple missed deals, but fell short.
Anything else, guys? Bears haven't screwed it up yet.
Mike McCarthy? What do you guys think?
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope that although things seem to be cooling down. I mean, look, you can never pay attention to the rumor mill. Things seem to be cooling down with the Ben Johnson to the Raiders.
Right.
Yep.
You know, that being
sounds like a
fait
bunch of
accompli.
bullshit.
There seems to be a lot of pushback on that. So
Yeah. I mean, part of me is like, okay, what does Mike McCarthy bring to the table? Like, certainly not exciting.
Nope.
But
however,
a lot better than what they've had over the last decade.
More, yeah.
He did.
You
He
could
did
certainly say
mentor.
competent.
He did mentor Aaron Rodgers. He mentored Dak Prescott. You can't say that they're bad quarterbacks.
Nope. It's like he can get you to the playoffs. I feel like not.
He might win you a Super Bowl. One.
Well, we'll take it. We've been riding the coattails of that Super Bowl 20 for how many years now?
Yeah.
Almost 30.
Almost 30. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit. Almost 40.
40. Oh my God.
We're pathetic.
Yeah.
You're going to cut that one out too, right, Ron?
No. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you will.
58-50. Okay, got it. A lot of good stuff on this one.
Pretty sure you spelled euchre wrong there, Duke.
Yeah, you did. CH.
Euchre.
RE. Yep.
And then I don't know if you saw this morning. I saw it come across, but the Bears have reached out to Pittsburgh to talk to Mike Tomlin.
That's not going to happen.
I'm just,
I think
here's the problem. He employed Art
Pittsburgh
Smith.
would never trade him.
No, I don't think Pittsburgh trades him, but also he hired Arthur Smith to be his offensive coordinator. That should pretty much tell you everything you need to know.
I think
there's a reason there. Look, I have nothing against Mike Tomlin, but when he won the Super Bowl, he won it with Bill Cowher's players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like Mike Tomlin too. But I don't see him as the guy that gets you across the finish line.
No.
I don't see him being able to mentor a quarterback like Caleb.
Nope.
I think that's the issue. He inherited Roethlisberger, correct?
Out of all the options, that's why McCarthy is the most appealing to me. One, not since John Fox, and that wasn't a very fun ride.
No.
Have the Bears reached out to a former coach who has coached at the NFL level and had some level of success? McCarthy's had a bunch. John Fox had a little bit in Carolina. But that's why, to me, that's the most stable pick at this point. Because
John Fox also got rid of Robbie Gould, which was the biggest freaking mistake.
Stupid move. But anyway, stability, I think, or just some kind of, well, you don't have to question the coach anymore. That's what's appealing about McCarthy to me, right? Because then at that point, less fingers are pointed at the coaching because it's competent at least, and now you start pointing it at the players.
Right.
Where over this last year, it hasn't been on the players. It's been solely on the coaching. Offensive line taking some heat, and they should. But, yeah, let's face it, most of the conversation's been around the coaching staff. And I'd like for that to stop, and then we start paying attention to what the players are actually doing.
Correct.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Just a voting update over on X. It's now 50-50 to use YouTube pressure. So we're going to keep that up for the week.
Yeah.
And
won't do anything now.
We'll reveal the results on next week's show, and then we'll take necessary action if possible. And hey, maybe we'll extend them an invitation. Maybe we'll post our second YouTube short ever. It'll go right up next to Elliott with his famous warning.
Famous declaration.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Do you remember that, Elliott?
I do.
You probably don't remember it because you were hammered.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Ian Happ declaration.
No. Our only YouTube short that's posted. Which, you know what? Since we're here, we're gonna revisit that right now.
While you're pulling it up,
for those of you who aren't familiar, weren't listening to us at the time, or who have forgotten, Elliott was in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
at Truist Park, and made this bold declaration.
All right,
this inspiring message to the team of rivals peoples.
All right.
Good evening, team of rivals peoples. Coming to you from Mac McGee's in good old Atlanta. How are we feeling? Vibes are low. We need a W. We need to keep ahead of the Marlins. Stroh needs to show. Offense needs to show up. But more importantly, the bullpen needs to make themselves known. Fly the W. Let's go.
Too many claws.
That wasn't that bad. Too many claws. How pathetic is it, when you say we got to stay ahead of the Marlins?
I know. It's awful. Awful.
Yeah, how often has that worked out for us?
Not very good.
Are you having a good year when any fan states we've got to keep ahead of the Marlins?
Yeah.
Probably a pretty poor indicator of where things are headed, especially when it comes to the Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, at least soccer's starting up in a few weeks. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too. We're not going to know who the Bears are hiring as the head coach for at least another 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
At least, because they can't interview anybody on any of the playoff teams before Monday.
Well, at least Monday they can start bringing in.
They can
bring in guys that are out.
In-person interviews. Yeah. Right. So, the only way that they're interviewing Ben Johnson on Monday is if the Tiger or the Lions lose, and that's not going to happen.
No.
Not this week.
No, they're not going to lose to the Commanders.
Watch them lose to the Commanders.
Well, that'd be great, because then
nobody wants Ben Johnson after that.
Oh, and one final thing I think before we go. I mean, unless you guys have anything that you think we may have forgotten. Obviously we're the Friars Cast, although we can't be the Friars Cast because I did do my research online, and apparently Whitefriars University has a podcast, the Friars Cast. Yeah. So we will not rebrand ourselves as the Friars Cast because we respect the sanctity of a brand, of a mark. So we will not be the Friars Cast. But in light of the news that came out on IFA Day, for the remainder of this podcast, however many minutes are left, I'll be moving my my hat to the left.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Royale Strop, son of the famed Cubs relief pitcher Pedro Strop, has signed with the hated Cardinals. I guess it's just I don't know. It seems to me that this is
hats to the left.
This is revenge for the Cubs having signed Mark McGwire's son. So Cardinals just getting back at us rather than either of our teams, trying to actually impact themselves with quality free agents. We just signed the lesser progeny of our faded stars.
Yeah. Before we go, Pete, thoughts on the new baby blue alternates for the Cubs?
A couple thoughts. One, I really like them, but I don't want to give the Cubs any of my money right now. I'm a little feeling a little salty after last night's spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I love the Cardinals fans who are trying to take credit for it, trying to pretend that the Cubs didn't do this first. Because the victory blues, they're like, oh yeah, there's nothing more than you know what? God,
the Cubs have had them since 1981.
No,
before that.
The Cubs did wear them. Well, they stopped wearing them. I think it was in 81.
Yes, that was the last season they had them.
I remember those.
But
they had pinstripes on them too, right?
They did for a while in the 70s.
In the 70s, yeah.
But let's here we go. We're gonna pull this up. We're gonna give you Cardinals fans, the few of you who are watching, we're gonna give you a little bit of a history lesson here. We're gonna go to I guess you could probably call this an authoritative source since it's the Baseball Hall of Fame. Okay, so here's the Cubs uniform database going all the way back to 1900. Okay, we're just going to advance forward here through the teens, through the 20s, through the 30s, and we're going to jump right here into 1941. Look at that alternate there. That looks like baby blue.
Victory blue.
Victory blue. Is that what you want to call it? Whatever.
That's what they call it.
So 1941. And then it if we go back, right? So then they wore them again in 42. And then they put them away. And if we fast forward again, then the Cubs brought it back in the 70s. I think it was 72, maybe. No, sorry, 76. A lot of teams did it in 76, obviously, because of the bicentennial. So you can see they wore it in 76. And then it was in 78 that they switched it from that baby blue to blue pinstripes, which is that's
the one I remember right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't entirely mind if they brought that back. But so there's your little bit of history, and they wore it until 1981, and that's when it went away until obviously this year. Now,
put a picture up of the new. I want to see it again.
I will. Well, give me a second because I do want to. I do want to be thorough in this. Okay, so we're going to go to we're going to display the uniform history of the St. Louis Cardinals and their creativity in their color palette here.
The my favorite looking Cardinals uniform is in the 40s right there. That style. I like that. That version of the birds on a bat I really am in favor of. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great throwback. I'd never wear it.
They do that every once in a
while. So here we are, 71. Still no blues. 1976. I'm sorry, Cardinals fans. Who copied who? Beg your pardon?
But please post that history.
Feels good.
Yeah, maybe we'll clip this out and that'll be another short right next to Elliott and the Peoples.
Or just put a post screenshot of this, like, 1941. Look what the Cubs were wearing. Victory blue. Go eat shit. Whoever whiny millennial Gen Z Cardinals fan is stating that.
And they're actually Ron, did you see any of the stuff about the Cubs baby blues?
Yeah, I saw the picture of it. You guys in our chat. I tell you right now, if you pull it up on screen, I'll tell you my first impression of it was I thought it was one of those. Every once in a while, the Blues will wear some kind of Cardinals themed jersey pregame, during the warm-ups, or Cardinals wear a Blues or something like that. I thought when you guys put that up, I thought that was something maybe for the Chicago Fire because of the C. It has like a little star in it. It looked a lot like just, squint and look at it real quick. And I thought that was a Chicago Fire thing that the Cubs were doing, but I didn't realize it was
I thought they were updating their City Connects and that they would maybe only wear
or something like that
once a month or twice a month or whatever. But no, these are this year's alternates.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's not just this year. It sounds like this could become a permanent alternate, at least for a little while. So that and also so the thing about it is that and give them credit, right? They're referring to them as the electric blues, right? Not just like baby blues or alternate blues or anything like this, but the electric blues, because there's all kinds of nods and hints in there to Chicago's legacy as the home of electrified blues music, right? So if you look at it, like the Chicago thing on the Chicago badge here that's going to be on the sleeve is designed to look like a guitar pick, right? And you have a little you've got a lightning bolt right in the middle of it. Obviously, that's a nod to electricity. Same thing with the lightning bolts here. And this is the
strings.
sock. This is the sock, right? Yep, six pinstripes designed to look like a 6-string guitar. Kind of the same thing with the C. All of it being a nod to, and the C and the number are nods to the typography of the era.
But you guys,
I think they did well, but I'm not going to spend my money on it because
if you squint, you kind of see where I was going with the Chicago Fire thing just before I took a closer look at it, of course. But anyway, you calling it the Blues? You guys are copying the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, no. 1941. Did the Blues exist in 1941?
I don't think so.
Who cares?
All right, well, gentlemen, I think that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. And if you want to help spread the word, please give us a 5-star review and tell your friends to do the same. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. We also regularly live stream on X, Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. And be sure to check out the other Fuel Sports Network podcasts. I don't know what they are. You can go check out their page. They're at Fuel Sports Net on X and also on Facebook. You can find Elliott on X at
TOR_Elliott.
And you can find Ron raging when I get under his skin with an obvious troll job at
dickhead. You can find me at Team of Rivals NFL Podcast. Please go on and like and subscribe that, and you will hear none of us on it.
And finally, you can get in touch with us at any social media channel at Team of Rivals Pod or by email at teamofrivalspodcast@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe next week we'll have some special guests to talk the NFL hiring cycle and the playoffs. And as we go out, fellas, I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and mute your cameras so that you don't overlay the last minute and a half of our farewell.
You told me to mute my camera?
Yeah, you're going to mute your camera by turning it off. As we bid fond farewell to Bob Uecker, one of a kind. There definitely won't be another one like him. So have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Doyle here, welcoming all you friends of the feather to another season of Indians baseball. A lot of new faces in Chief Wahoo's tribe this year as they take on the defending American League champs, the New York Yankees. And hopefully we'll have some of the names that go with those faces before their first at-bat. Anyway, listen to the roar of the crowd as the Indians take the field. Yes, sir, they love this club here in Cleveland. On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Oh, shit. Hello, Tribe fans. Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of. Paid attendance today is 1,412. Some of them were driven away by a little 10-run first inning the Red Sox put up. Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag.
For the Indians, one run on, let's see, one hit. That's all. We got one goddamn hit.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Say! The Indians win it! The Indians win it!